My entire family celebrated my brother without inviting me. But when they realized I had stopped helping them, they suddenly remembered that I was family. My name is Connor, and for years, I had been the person everyone called whenever they needed something. If my parents needed money, I helped. If my brother needed help with college applications, I stayed up all night helping him. When my aunt needed a ride or someone needed a favor, I was always there. I never asked for anything in return because I thought that's what family did. But one day, I found out that everyone had been invited to my brother's celebration except me. I only discovered it because my mother accidentally sent me a picture from the party. Everyone I loved was smiling in that photo while I was sitting alone at home, completely unaware that my own family had decided I didn't belong. I immediately called my mother and asked, why wasn't I invited? There was a long silence before she said, it was just a small gathering. I almost laughed because there were more than 30 people in the picture. So I'm not family? I asked. She sighed and said, don't make this dramatic, Connor. That sentence hurt more than the party itself. I didn't argue. I simply said, okay, and hung up. The next morning, my brother called me and asked why I was acting strange. I asked him, did you know everyone was coming? He paused before saying, yeah, and you didn't think to tell me? Another pause. Then he said, Mom thought it would be better if you weren't there. I felt my anger rise. Why? He didn't answer. That was the moment I decided I was done being the family's backup plan. For years, I had helped everyone while putting my own life aside. I had paid some of my brother's expenses, helped my parents with bills, and even covered repairs at my aunt's house. Nobody remembered any of it. So I stopped. No more money. No more favors. No more rushing over whenever someone called. At first, they thought I was just angry and would eventually calm down. Then the call started. My mother needed help with a bill. My brother needed money for his business. My aunt needed someone to handle an important problem. For the first time, I gave everyone the same answer. I'm sorry. I can't help. They call me selfish. My brother even told me, family doesn't abandon family. I looked at him and said, funny. I thought you already taught me how that works. A few days later, my father showed up at my apartment looking exhausted. He sat down and finally told me the truth. The celebration hadn't actually been for my brother's success. It was about the sale of my grandfather's old property, and my brother had convinced everyone to leave me out because he wanted control over the money. I couldn't believe it. Why would you let him do that? I asked my father. He looked down and quietly said, because we thought you would demand your share. I stared at him. I never wanted your money, I said. I wanted my family. The room went silent. My father started crying and admitted that they had taken my help for granted for years. They thought I would always be there no matter how badly they treated me. But they were wrong. I didn't need their money or the property. I needed them to understand that I was a person, not the family's emergency fund. A week later, my brother came to see me. He apologized and finally admitted that he had been jealous because everyone depended on me whenever something went wrong. I thought if I pushed you away, everyone would finally see me, he said. I looked at him and replied, you never needed to push me away to become important. He started crying. I forgave him, but I didn't immediately become the same person I had been before. I still helped my family when I genuinely wanted to, but now I had boundaries. Months later, my mother invited me to another family celebration. This time, the invitation came directly from her. At the bottom, she had written, we should have never made you feel like you weren't family. I smiled. Walking away hadn't destroyed my family. It had finally taught them how to value me.